G'day, welcome. Episode 311, I think, of the Mailbag Preview Show, brought to you by puntingform.com.au. It's a database I use. You should too if you want to take yourself seriously and build yourself a bit of a bank of data and notes and whatever else. It's what I use, it's what you should. The A-team is back as the good horses return. We've got all the way from sunny Maroubra, just living his best life, T-shirt on, skin's glowing, as the horses are starting to glow too for him. It's Rob Robertos, the horse whisperer, Scuzz Dog Scurry. How are you, Rob?
Yeah, thanks for the big intro as usual. Appreciate that. How are you, Pistol? What a set and what a bob we got at Belmont yesterday to make a very, very good day.
It's always nice to get a head bob there at the tricky camera angle, which is Belmont Park. But, it's a long winter, now into the best part of the year, spring. We've got the Kalgoorlie round coming up in WA soon. That's what we're looking forward to. And then back to Ascot, the best metro track in Australia by panels.
I couldn't disagree with that. And a long-awaited return. Some on this panel were just shitting themselves when this man was departing for a well-earned long service leave. They were worried that the wheels might literally fall off most of it. We pay our respects to MJ, slow left arm medium, Michael Pratt, for holding it together. But he has returned safe and sound, thank God, from the, what is it? The land of the home and the brave of the something like that.
Land of the free, home of the brave, I think.
There he is. He's back from the US of A. He's packed a lot into a holiday. He's back. He's fresh. We welcome him back. Jono Rayner. How are you, man?
Thank you. Yes, good to be back. Didn't really want to end the holiday, but had to eventually. It's very expensive over there, about almost double. Everything's about double for the New Zealand dollar anyway. So, no, lots of fun. 4 Yankees games, a trip to Saratoga Springs for the races. You'll like the Yankees games in the 7th innings. It's basically like halftime. The 7th innings stretch, they sing God Bless America. Turn to the flag, hats off.
Did you take your hat off?
Sure did.
Any words that you're big on now that you've like sort of snuck over from America?
Any words?
It's America!
Yeah.
Which means this is America. This is America.
No, nothing, I don't think specific, no.
We'll see if it leaks out through this show and through the John and Jack show tomorrow. Boys, the racing's really heating up. On this week's edition, guys, we're going to roll through race 8 at Royal Randwick and then do the 2 Group 1s at least for you at Caulfield. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous day in Melbourne. Windy, yes, but great seeing day, as Bill Laurie would say. What's the weather like there in Sydney, Rob? And what are you predicting for Saturday?
Weather's been beautiful all week. And yeah, it should be as fast, good, very fast time. So I suggest, I haven't looked at the rail or the track position. The jury's out if I'm even going to be at Randwick. I could be doing a double header at Newcastle. So, looking forward to getting to Newcastle tomorrow. One of my favourite meets of the year. So that's where I am. My eyes are firmly fixed at.
Yeah, and the gods will speak to you as they always do. So we're expecting a good track there on Saturday at Randwick, Peter. I'll throw up a speed map now, and then we'll finish this little set with Peter's or my prices for this race, which is the 7 Stakes. It's not a group race, apparently, but it's worth $1 million, and it's a star-studded lineup, Peter.
Yes, it is. I think speed-wise it'll be, at least genuine. You've got Lindemann, Private Eye drawn 8 and 9, so they'll work their way across. I think they'll end up crossing Royal Patronage, who will basically just be in the slipstream behind them. Gringotts will probably hold the rail, and then you've got the rest of them just filtering in behind. Fangirl probably going to be worse than midfield at absolute best, I would say, but every chance she's in the, just before the 2 back markers really in Kovalika and Kadavar. So could be slightly awkward there for JMac. And when I was first going through this race, I was just thinking, right, can I get Fangirl short enough to be a bet? Currently best available 270 or so. There's a bit of wind forecast there at Randwick on Saturday, Rob, if you make it. Moderate west-southwester. So that could, to some parts of the race, if they go too quick early, it could just impact those front runners. So I was looking for horses just off the speed. And going through all the ratings, and all the numbers. And I know that Fangirl paraded real well first up because I was there at Caulfield. I still can't work out if she was disappointing or just wasn't suited, Dicko. I don't know what your review of that race at Caulfield was, but in the end, I've been basically neutral on her. I've tried to mark her up to where she would be second up last preparation. She's got a good historic SP, and yet I still couldn't get her shorter than $3.
I think that the race she's coming out of is the best form race in Australia, like as far as we go into this weekend. Brightside come out and won a proper Group 1. They didn't go very quick. Oh, shit. How dare they? Why don't you cook your horse so that I can see the best horse win? Shut up. Grow up. Morons. I thought she was really good, and I see a scenario, Peter, where we're doing this on a Monday morning just for the mailbag subs, and we're saying, well, you know, we should have not been so harsh on her first time Caulfield, and then back onto our home track, she's gone back to what she does. The overall number there at Caulfield's really strong. We've seen the form stand up already. Everyone's pretty keen on the winner. She started 480 versus it. I think that she makes it unbettable, the race, because I don't want to fall into her either, and I don't want to go against her at the same time. The map is, what would you say, scary? Like, it's not a great map for her, but it's Barrier 5 JMac. It's Zara to JMac. It's like Melbourne's elite back to Sydney's elite. I don't know. I think I think she deserves to be favourite, but you could make a case for Ceolwulf for sure, and even a horse like Royal Patronage, if they are punching on and they're making no ground, if you roll back to the George Ryder, same weights, Royal Patronage $3.90 versus Fangirl $5. What is that worth?
Yeah, and Ceolwulf was equal with Royal Patronage at that $3.90 mark. So yeah, the SP is quite interesting to pull apart for this race. Just going back over the last 12 months or so. What I will say is that I think there's a real significant improver here coming out of what we've seen so far. I think it's hard to suggest that Ceolwulf's going as well as what we've seen from that horse previously. Like had maybe a small excuse there last start, borderline in the worst ground late, but still only just going. I think you can't really take that $5. I think that looks well and truly short enough. But the horse that I think has improved, and I'm just putting Royal Patronage to one side, just purely coming back from Hong Kong, want to see that horse before even going near it, so I couldn't back him either. But Gringotts looks to be a horse that is improving with every preparation. I don't think there's a genuine ceiling on this horse. The trial in between runs was just dead quiet. Barrier 1 looks like a great smother just off the speed here. I've got Gringotts marked shorter than the market to 100%. I've got him marked with a 4 in front.
Ooh,
and
pistol.
He's the only bet in this race for me. I would be inclined to try and save Fangirl if I got 3+ late. I don't think I'll get there. So Gringotts is a bet for me.
What about Ceolwulf, though, being $5.50 here? So it started that sort of price versus Via Sistina first up. That's the price that Brightside started versus it.
Yeah, look,
in the Mackay, so you can tie it in like that. It's a race where I don't know which one to sort of hammer.
The thing I don't like about Ceolwulf is his lack of early speed. And again, drawn 3 here, like where's he getting to? He's going to be behind Gringotts in run, probably buried on the fence.
Joe
Maybe
might
he'll
have
be
to
out
ask Chad to be brave.
Hey,
Rob, talk us through some of these horses on type, the ones you've seen thus
they're
far,
all-
where they're at prep-wise. Is there a horse here like Lindemann that was way more further forward than others?
He's a lovely parade of Lindemann. It's hard to kind of knock any of these guys other than Militarized, which is now completely stuffed and is out. It's won its Group 1, so it's going to need to lose a lot of races to have its rating go down. It's never, ever, unless it's a heavy 10 where it won a Group 1 as a 2-year-old, it is no chance here. That is Militarized. But if we go back to when I got the lovely bob in maybe Sydney's best race, or my favourite race, the George Ryder, Fangirl was...
Doncaster Prelude.
What a day. The Ryder is possibly like the Cox Plate of Sydney, if you ask me. It's over 1,500, right in the heart of the autumn, and it's always got the best horses in it. Fangirl that day, on her. She's usually not as good at Randwick. Should have pissed in, and she drifted out. And lucky me, I got on Gringotts and it got the bob. I think we're on him first up. I think we've been on him like 5 or 6 times. I think, as Pistol said, he is the progressive horse here. It's just annoying that he's, everyone else seems to think he's progressive and he's $5. I was hoping we'd get maybe a little bit more juice out of a first up run that didn't look that good. But to me, 2-horse race. Gringotts and Fangirl. Ceolwulf, maybe up to 2,000 metres. Doesn't have the speed. I've just seen this barrier. It's rail out 7, which kind of has me thinking that, inside on, not too far off him is going to be suited.
Yeah, that's my starting point as well, Rob. Unless, look, it might get a bit more even for the shoot races. It's obviously the wind, if it does kick up, that's an important factor, is that the shoot start versus the circle start's completely different in terms of the angle of the wind. So we'll wait and see what it's like on the day. But going back to rewatch that first up run from Gringotts, he loses momentum, and you can see it in his split breakdown from the 600 to the 400. He just got held up there waiting on the turn and just got flushed wider. So I think there was a genuine excuse there. And look, first up, I'm not going to put too much emphasis on that run on a heavy 10 anyway, but I'm more than happy to just go off what he was previously showing. Like, he's been improving with every preparation, and I feel that was a pretty sound run first up. He just peaked last 100. So
it sounds like you boys are very much off Ceolwulf. If the horse fails here, has Joe made potentially his first ever mistake not sending this horse to the Underwood Stakes?
Possibly.
It's worth $1 million. Wait for aid. It's 800 metres.
You know what I'm finding annoying is bloody JMac being on Fangirl. Because if he wasn't on Fangirl, maybe I do get a price. So, go back to New Zealand or get over to Hong Kong, JMac, and stop messing with my minds.
No, don't think he'd be rushing over here.
John, did you get any time on the in the business class to do a bit of form on the way home, or where are we at here?
Lucky enough not to have someone next to us in economy, so that was pretty much felt like business class, but unfortunately not exactly that.
He's had the greatest run of all time on planes. He flew over the whole way with an infant baby almost next to him that didn't make a peep the whole way. Like, how?
Good things happen to good people.
Willow.
I was thinking Fangirl as well. I didn't actually have a look at the market at all until you mentioned that it's 270, which obviously no spoil there, but hard to beat, isn't it? I think I just want to look here, 13 rides on the horse for JMac, 7 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. So, I think it should be pretty hard to beat.
The 7 Stakes has produced a really, really nice field and a good, interesting race. We'll be back to review that one Monday morning, no doubt. Pistol. Let's head to Caulfield, the Heath, Kanga territory. The track's improved a bit, Peter, recently. It's starting to race. Look, you've always been a big fan, actually. I've been critical. I'd say it's racing better than it has. Very flary stuff here for a massive day, Peter. Rail out 6 metres. And not a heap, but some wind maybe affecting them on Saturday.
Yeah, the forecast for the wind, I think, it's still pretty strong, isn't it? The westerly, which will be a headwind in the straight. So
it's one of those wind amounts that I've always found that you don't want to think about it too much on Wednesday and Thursday because it can just drop away or go to way up. You know what I mean? It's not 50. It's like 20 to 25. Maybe 30, depending where you look at the moment. So if it drops to 10 and 15, it's not really relevant.
It's also just a tricky direction, though, as well, isn't it? How that's going to impact the leaders, say, starting from the 1600 or the 1800 is completely different to how it's going to impact horses coming out of the 1200, 1100 metre shoot. So, that's going to be a little interesting side point for a meeting. Rail 6 metres, otherwise, I've got pretty much just running as, basically even, looking at other conditions on the day to try and sort it out. So I think the wind's the main factor there. As you said, track's played really well, but this winter has been very kind, and by that I mean exceedingly dry in Melbourne. So we haven't actually seen any meeting, I don't think, where Caulfield's been heavily affected by rain. In fact, the rain's actually missed a few times, which has been to a few connections' chagrin, no doubt. So I think all things being equal, I'm expecting the track to play well again there on Saturday.
We'll start, boys, at race 7. It's the SEN Underwood Stakes. 800 metre Group 1 weight for age. I hope you appreciate what I did there, Peter. I thought about doing something I didn't. It is a fat field. It's a juicy race. This is a pathway race at the same time. So what that means, guys, is if you have a big bet into this race and the horse isn't ridden as you expect it to be ridden on grand final day, keep all your toys in the cot. All right? This is like the Maccabi Diva. Not as bad, but the same sort of stuff can happen. Because there's horses here that were running Caulfield Cups and Melbourne Cups and Cox Plates. So just bear that in mind when you're wagering, that intent and what's the right sort of word, Peter? Like, integrity is not a question of a horse's preparation. A horse's preparation is your ignorance, is what I'd say.
That's a very mature way of putting it, Dickens.
I look at horses here that I think are flying, Peter, on our speed map. I've got Golden Path, who was coming off in a significant PB, a brutally run race at Flemington last week. Still in, drawn 7, gets a softer run than it got last week, coming off a brutal tempo on the quick backup. Very hard horse to price. Sir Delius for Gay. Talked about it, Rob, in a bit. It's going to roll forward. Desert Lightning gets PR. Smoke and Romans thereabouts. I think Middle Earth, Moira and Anisette use the good draws and settle handier than you think. I think, allegedly. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if Middle Earth settled out the back because it's a stayer, second up. Casino 17 is a horse that's going no good. It's a horse I think might be ridden either forward or back. Zardozi, wide draw, but J Carr, hard to map. Think she'll look at rolling forward gently. And then Buckaroo, Land Legend, and the Melbourne Cup winner, Knight's Choice, out the back. Rob, start with Sir Delius. How was it last start? Where's it at? What's your read on this horse?
I underestimated it last start. I thought it didn't parade brilliantly. It's a bit better than it's a B+ grade Euro to look at. You'll see it on the weekend. Pistol, it's no Delius, so it's not it's not a great looker.
There was a lot of love there, wasn't there?
Oh, fucking Delius! Why beat Dagny in a 78 at Randwick? What a Dagny $6. Anyway, we're going back a while, but look, I thought he overachieved. He kind of impressed me on the way that day was run. Then it's no spoil here with even money though. I'd be looking at old Buckaroo, who's a horse I backed. See, it's got Blake Shin on 1800 metres. I think he's more of a grade Euro on type.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard not to love him. What a man. But yeah, as I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of horses here that aren't. This is not their grand final. I'm going to take Zardozi all the time. I just think it looks like a fucking BM88 horse, or it looks like a Saturday horse. It doesn't look like a stayer. It doesn't look like a sprinter. It just looks like a decent horse. It's I've heard you say it's really good, but it's just, that's my opinion of it. I don't think it's that good. So Buckaroo, if the map and the speed line up, well, you got Blake Shin, I think that looks like a bet compared to Sir Delius at evens.
Do you want to talk about it, Peter, or do you want me to roll through for a bit?
I was going to say, without, obviously I haven't looked at this race because I'm just going to leave it till Saturday, but isn't there the same query over 3 or 4 of these runners, maybe even 5 of them? Zardozi, Anisette, Sir Delius, Middle Earth, Buckaroo, Knight's Choice, they're all second up en route to much bigger, more important grand finals. It's really difficult to assess the amount of intent for any of these runners.
And then you add in that they're like the Zardozis of the world are second up for Kieran.
Yeah, big change.
I think Sir Delius is significantly under the odds. It started $5.50 last start versus Ceolwulf, $1.75. We were talking about Ceolwulf tying into $5 SPs, same sort of SPs as Brightside versus Via Sistina. I think it's like a joke. I think it's ridiculous. It will kill me. So this race, if you're watching this and you want to just set a little alarm in your calendar, you can send me a mental health check on Twitter or something at 3:45 p.m. The race jumps at 3:40. If it wins, and probably even if it places, it's going to be tough here. It's going to be real tough. I can't believe it's $2. I can't believe it. I thought Buckaroo would go up favourite, would be my guess at how the market will do this. Buckaroo's Chink Peter's got a massive SP first up, but it's up in trip. It's been at Caulfield a few times, and every time it's gone there, it's just turned to Charlie Sheen. Tiger Blood, chasing lines, loves it. It'll savage him. Blake Shin on, like, that's just that little bit of intent that we're talking about, guys. There's hope with him that he won't care about the prep as much as another rider would. So there's riders here. Like, if Desert Lightning was second up going to Melbourne Cup and Luke Nolan's right for PG Moody of nose roll fame, no. He's doing as he's told. Blake Shin, Mark Zara, these blokes do whatever they want. Buckaroo ticks boxes. I can't believe it's $5.50. If you start betting into the race, it has to be on your side, is my opinion. Desert Lightning, I hate it, but I love the price. That's when I start to think about life and this race a lot, and I'm starting to think maybe I don't need it. Problem is, I pulled the trigger on Wednesday and got stuck into two horses that I still love, one in particular. Middle Earth, drawn 1, Mark Zara. You think he's not going to throttle that thing just a little bit and just see what's under the hood? This bloke has more options than anyone when it comes to rides in Melbourne Spring. Is this his Cox Plate Melbourne Cup Caulfield Cup horse? He doesn't know. He's about to find out on Saturday. This horse will be ridden. This horse can win. It was sneaky strong first up. Love it, 800 metres. Love the inside draw. Middle Earth, bet. Now you can back that each way, or you can do what I do and just bet the win, and you add some more horses to your team. And the other horse that I love and adore here is the 11 Zardozi. Second go Maher. $20. How fucking dare they? That's just rude.
It's got me thinking, Dicko, at that price, even as much as I hate it, you got me thinking.
It started shorter in the fucking Melbourne Cup.
Yeah. And
it started $6.50 last start versus Desert Lightning and Moira, right? It was a better run than both of them. It was fucking enormous. It was the third best last 100 of the day, first up, if you don't mind, at Moonee Valley, with 0 intent. Now, we know the horse is flying. This is the chat they're having in the hut right now. It's flying. We're going to give another cold run, or we're going to try and find if we can pinch a Group 1 here for $1 million and just get the Sheik loving Kieran. I want the Sheik to love me. I want the money. This horse is ready to win. Jamie Carr hates being passive. She loves to be positive. $20 is an absolute disgrace. This horse should be like $8 and like one of the bigger bets you could ever have, responsibly. So I think I'm going to build a spot, Pete, around Middle Earth and Zardozi, get something out of old Buckaroo, just for, like, that is what I consider. I know they don't say it on the TV, guys, but that's actually gambling responsibly. The Progressive, really talented horse at $5 or better. And then you've just got to make a decision about Desert Lightning and maybe even Land Legend, Peter, if it got out to like $50, which I think it might.
I was just trying to work out, why is Moira $5.50?
Fuck knows. Because it loomed and didn't put the other horse away. It had the complete PR to roll Desert Lightning, and it didn't.
Yeah, I completely agree. And
Desert Lightning started, what price, Peter?
$2.35
versus $3.80 Moira last start. It faced the breeze, which wasn't easy to do at Moonee Valley that day. Moira had it cold, went to win, didn't. Weak, gutted dog. You can't fall into that thing like that the prices are giving us. It's ridiculous. Desert Lightning should be shorter than Moira here.
Yep.
Even Anaset, I thought, was probably better than Moira first up there at Caulfield.
Yes.
Yeah, completely
I agree
agree.
with that, John. But it started $41 and it missed the run. So it was in the Moira Desert Lightning race at Moonee Valley, and they scratched. So that's a chink. It's had a little cheeky tick over though. So to be honest, John, by the time we get there Saturday, there's probably other horse that comes on to the team if the market allows you to. Like if they spit it out to sort of $31, I think you need to have a spot. You can back 50 horses here. Well, you can back 6 because fucking Gay's horse, who's going like custard in Melbourne, is $2 favourite.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but you said it for me, so there we go. I'm yet to see anything from the Gay Waterhouse team over the last 12 months to suggest that they're actually going well in Melbourne, but it's got to turn at some point, right?
This is their project horse. I think Moira's SPs, isn't it based a little bit off its American Group 1 win at the Breeders' Cup?
Yeah, but Moira and Anaset were both like sort of disregarded a little bit by the market first up, first run Caulfield, right? They were both pretty good. So then they went to Moonee Valley. Anaset scratches, late scratching, like, Saturday morning. Moira runs, it looks like if it was very nice first up, if this thing gets to its overseas stuff, it probably beats Desert Lightning. That's what the market did that day. It still didn't start shorter than Desert Lightning. I'd be shocked. I wouldn't mind having a fun bet with someone that Moira starts $10 if there's no scratchings in this race.
And what price does Zardozi start? 12?
$10.
Yeah. So 20 is a mistake. A bit like that stayer at Canterbury yesterday at $12 for the Hawks team. Got up. You see that one, boys?
Any other thoughts, guys, on the Underwood, Jono?
Well, yeah, I thought you pleaded a very good case for Zardozi. You convinced me, like I think you convinced Rob as well.
All I'll say with her is that she was very, very big in condition first up, and I would be amazed if she's improved enough second up to be fit enough to win this. That's all I'll say.
I absolutely concede and respect that, but it's the price.
Yeah.
So, like, at $8, what Peter's saying, stop me.
Which she was first up.
I might like take a bit off the bet. At $20, like, it's just like rule number 4. What am I going to regret more here? Having a good bet at Zardozi and it losing, or not backing Zardozi and it winning?
Yep, and a set was the other one, but I mentioned that already. Yeah, it's $27 already, but yeah, good chance it probably gets out further. And Buckaroo was the other one that I thought was pretty generous there at $5.50ish at the moment.
Beautiful. Righto, we head to race 8. This is why I think if they don't stuff it up, Victorian racing can't be beaten by Racing New South Wales. These sort of races, Peter, scattered through the calendar just make racing great, I think. These handicaps, these setups, these traditional sort of feed-ins and angles that the participants create. It's the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes. It's race 8. It's a Group 1 handicap. It's over 1,400 metres. And we've got Group 1 horses. We've got progressive horses. We've got very, very tricky barriers. And a genuine enough speed, I think. Zarastro keeps A. Jones drawn wider. I think that might actually help her. Here to shock, Jenny Lala off a sneaky good trial for Jesus, Gavin, our man, Begood. Arkansaw Kid and Airman. Arkansas drawn 1, Airman drawn 12. Both on the quick back up from a 1,200 metre race down the straight last week. Flemington, Arkansas pissed in, blessed. They just let him go up the inside. Unbelievable stuff, full credit to him. Zoo Sensation, another Will thereabouts, another Prophet, don't know what they do. Rumbini and Seepels, tricky barriers for horses that are flying. Same story for 2 others, Angel Capital and Shorten Lane. Don't know what they want to do from the wider draws. More options for Shorten Lane. Feroce, I thought, was really good, slaughtered first up in a good race. And then Damask Rose, thank God it drew 17, because if it didn't, you probably had to back it. It was that good first up. Peter, any thoughts here?
Absolutely not. This, I don't even know where to look, so I'm just going to wait for him to parade and tell me on Saturday. But what I will say is Angel Capital's just on a new profile platform for Waller. I mean, obviously exploded first up, but, you know, does that, the cynic in me sort of thinks this will be a regression second up before then finding another.
You mean basically every other great horse he's ever had except for Wings?
Yeah. So I'm skeptical with that horse drawn to go right back, probably back 3, 4 or so. Going to have to be very, very good. But that first up win was very, very good. So
it's just it's also like simulation, like weird shit's going on.
Yeah.
Did anyone honestly expect to wake up and then at Wednesday afternoon find out that Angel Capital is a bigger price in this race than fucking Sir Delius is in the Underwood? No one would have seen that coming. I agree with everything Peter's saying, but then they put up $4. What the fuck do you do with that?
Yeah. Just enough, isn't it?
I think they've backed it, haven't they?
330.
350 we're talking now. So 350 as we record this. It's still like it's a price point, Peter, that I find very tempting. The horse is 2 from 2 at the track. It was like not suited and absolutely enormous proper at Moonee Valley. Very, very good. I think it's the starting point. I hate the jockey switch, but I think it's a weight-related jockey switch for Sapels. Willow goes on. I thought his ride the other day, Ethan Brown, this horse was genius. But he was blessed there, and he will not be blessed here. That horse won't start with a 4 in front of it. I think it'll be more a 5 or a 6. there's two horses here that I think are the easiest bets, roughies of all time, and I'll get to them at the end. But there's horses I want to mention. Another Will, I think, is too short. Will Drift, just off it's not doing what it's done, and the jury's sort of out. It was poor in the really good form reference, the whatever it's called, that Brightside and Treasure of the Moment come through. Here to Shock and Pinstripe were both like reverse slaughtered, like criminal stuff. Anything could happen with either of them. Arkansas's too short for mine, but very well placed. And then these two horses. So the Damask Rose, if it gets out $21 and you start betting the race, you just have to have it so you don't lose if it swoops and wins, because it was that good first up that it well might. Having said that, is it still trained by?
Yep.
I don't remember the last time he had a winner in Victoria at the Metro level that wasn't that good mare.
I'll have a look for you.
Like, honestly, it's getting grim out there. So we need a big price. The market surely doesn't fall into him. Is it me? I think can improve and in cheering for Dan, but there's two horses here. Shorten Lane is a massive price. No weight. Fucking enormous first up. Enormous. As good a run as Sapel's. Very, very good. Beautiful, beautiful like platform for the horse. Barrier 9, if it was barrier 6, I'd be a lot more confident. Celine Gaudreau's got a big opportunity though at the same time. This horse is flying, I think. But the horse down the bottom, Peter, how the fuck is it $18? Zeus Sensation.
I knew you would.
I mean,
it
is it
started
just...
340 last start versus 210 Angel Capital. It gets a 2.5 kilo swing on it, and Jamie Carr slaughtered it.
It's also first emergency.
Well, then have twice as much on, guys, for your own mental health. Just get it on. You're going to get it back if it doesn't get a run. It's a ridiculous price.
Exciting. This is a race, a bit of historical context, that in Costa Lago won when I was there as a 16-year-old, when I was 17. It is a race where you've got to go forward or go back. He went back, and if you go back, you usually can't win. But he won that day going back, which is almost impossible to do. Are we going to get a genuine speed? And if horses go back, are they pretty much cast unless they get an absolute miracle ride and can accelerate off a dime?
Well, if Zeus Sensation runs, there's more tempo. But Arkansaw Kid, Shin, Here to Shock, Jenny Lala, Gav, he's not going to hand up. Another Will. Those horses are going to use the good gates to try and attain the first four positions in run. So then Zarastro has to roll around that to not be 3 wide, no cover. 1400 metre start, shoot, Caulfield, very tactical.
Yeah, the most tactical.
Airman. The horse I was meant to mention and haven't, that's fascinating. And I think if I start betting, particularly if Zeus Sensation comes out, Peter, but I want to watch how the track's racing. I don't think you need a rush, is Miss Rumbini.
I was just looking at her.
Enormous last start. Absolutely enormous. I was sort of hoping when I was starting doing the notes and mapping this race that like they've done with Sir Delius, they put up Angel Capital $2 or $1.90, and then you just go, oh fuck it, and you just start getting stuck into a bunch of these horses that excite you. Yeah, at the 350, I think it's probably big. So I'm going to try and build a position around Angel Capital, Shorten Lane, Zoo Sensation, and probably Miss Rumbini, who will come with a run, Rob, with the favourite. And
Sepples, you got to risk it. They're going to go back, ride for luck. If you get done by it, well, bad luck. It's going to start $6-7.
It's one of those horses, one of those riders that are just like, it's narrative stuff, isn't it? Like I'm actually excited, Peter, to see what fucking Willow decides to do, because I don't know if he'll know. He could send it.
He got
sent last start and won off a very, very slow tempo. We won't have a very slow tempo here.
I mean,
so it'll go forward and it'll be faced with this scenario that it's never seen in its life. And it might go, I'm Seapels, I'm going to be the next weight for age horse, or it might shit the bed.
Is there a chance that they all sort of just sit there up speed, and meanwhile Angela Jones on Zarastro just basically crosses them all pretty easily, and Willow can just follow along from only 5 draws wider and just breeze? Yeah.
But I reckon Airman's thinking that.
Okay.
And then I reckon another prophet's going to tag Airman, and Rumbini's going to think about trying to get Airman. There's so much tactics in this back third, because you don't want to give up those 2 lengths just to give them up, you know.
It's great, isn't it?
And also you're giving them up to your biggest competitors in the race. And there's horses like Here to Shock or Pinstripe might fucking bounce off the slaughter last start.
Well, I was going to say out of the same race is it me as well, you know. I
It's
don't think it's
there
the
to run a
worst.
race. I think it gets 7 kilos maybe.
Yeah.
Full credit to Dan Bowman. Like it's proper placement. Yeah,
Yeah.
7 kilos swing on another wheel.
I think that's the one that appeals to me out of all of the roughies. I just love it coming from that fast tempo race and just dropping right back to something that looks a lot easier.
Yep. No, it's a great race. Really looking forward to Saturday's racing. We'll have probably a deeper dive maybe for John tomorrow. I've had to cancel golf, John, so we're away for your return of the show, John and Jack, for the Mailbag Bloodstock punters. Shares available, guys, in Elsie May and a little bit in Umagawa, who returned from a spell early this week. Outstanding condition, thriving that horse. He'll be a hell of a lot of fun. If you want to find out more, Jono, Jono, at themailbag.com.au. Pistol's got Eyes on Ponies, Melbourne Saturday from the yard. Him, Kanga, all the boys on track. If you want it fed to your phone, themailbag.com.au. And Eyes on Ponies, it's guaranteed 2 sets. We don't know where from. We know one's coming from Newcastle Friday. Could be a double header from Newcastle Saturday. What will happen, guys, from my experience, is if he wins Newcastle Friday, you'll be getting it from Newcastle on Saturday. And if he gets fisted Newcastle Friday, well, you'll get a set from Randwick on Saturday. It's the Mailbag Preview Show, episode 311. Welcome back, boys, the A-teams. Great to be here. I hope you had a great show. Hope you have a great weekend. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858-858 or visit the website. Chances are you're about to lose, unless you go to themailbag.com.au and buy my betting advice. Bye for now.